Nation of Fit and 10, welcome to day 66, and we have got 5 days to go. Well, at this point, I'm making the video here in the evening, so I guess really got 4 days to go. 4 days to go, going strong, not letting up. If anything, putting your foot, further on the gas, putting in more effort, more focus, more energy, and reminder to you that I did put up the Calendly link for the scan, so make sure you book your scan for this weekend. Also, we are going to have a finale in the gym next Wednesday, not this Wednesday, next Wednesday, of course, after the challenge is finished. July 6th, 6 p.m., we're going to have the finale. It will take about an hour, and I want you there. So please do your best to make some time to come out to that. Okay, as I mentioned, it'll be about an hour. Okay, more questions here. This person asks, have I heard of sensory processing sensitivity? It's been identified as an innate trait associated with specific sensitivity or responsivity to environmental and social stimuli that exist in about 20% of the population. I'm wondering if there's any specific advice for people with this trait in terms of diet and exercise. It's a very good question, and I don't know. I'm not sure. I have heard of this before. I'm assuming that this has got to vary from person to person. In general, though, just how sensitive we are to the environment, how sensitive we are to stimuli. And I would suspect that if you're somewhat of an introverted person, you're going to be more sensitive. But I don't know. This is a great question. I will have to look into it. So sorry, I can't answer that question. All right, next question. You mentioned in one of your videos that it's good to target a lot of muscle groups when training. I'm definitely guilty of getting stuck in the same routine that work out all the same muscles. Are there resources to help build workouts that target many muscle groups over time? Okay, so so let me just be clear here. Okay, so let's go back here. You mentioned that in one of your videos that it's good to target a lot of groups when training. Okay, so listen, the reason I say this is because unless you're a bodybuilder, you don't really need to do a lot of volume for one body part. For a couple body parts. So what this means is you can get more variety done in a workout. For example, we are going to change the programming back to 2-day splits soon. So it'll just be upper body, lower body, something like that, okay? So when we're talking about in generality with strength training, if you're not a bodybuilder, you can get away, or you can target a bunch of different muscle groups. I don't even like to think about it as muscle groups, although you can think about it this way, but not really necessarily, because I like to think about it as more different movements, and then these movements will have various outcomes in terms of, for example, let's just say, the difference between a back squat and an overhead squat. You might say, okay, well, those are two, I'm working the same muscles because those are both leg movements, but they're different movements altogether. For example, the overhead squat is going to get a lot more stability from your torso, and in particular your T-spine, your shoulders, and it's going to require a lot more hip stability and mobility, much more than what the squat will, a regular back squat. So this is why I say movements and not even necessarily body parts, because body parts is very, very general. It doesn't necessarily mean it covers everything. All right, so different movements, even though they may be similar, can give not completely different, but will give a varying outcome in terms of what gets stimulated and how it gets stimulated. Okay, so my suggestion is this though. When you're setting yourself up with routine, don't make it too complicated and don't vary it crazily. Like, don't do too much, because then you're just you never get a chance to really practice enough things enough, okay? So you need to make sure that you have some repetitiveness there so you can see progress. So I would recommend that. But being that, again, there's a happy medium here. So we're not doing a ton of volume for one muscle group. We have a chance to do more exercises in general. We have a chance to work more muscle groups per workout, but we don't want to do it in such a manner where we're just doing all these different exercises. We've got this repertoire of 100 exercises and we're going through it over time. This fly is driving me crazy. Anyways, okay, so I hope that helps you. Okay, so I'm definitely guilty of getting stuck in the same routine that work out all the same muscles. Are there any resources to help build workouts that target many muscle groups over time? So again, we have to look at what specifically you are trying to, what are your specific goals? That's what we have to look at, all right? And even with this, it doesn't necessarily mean that, you've got to follow this one specific routine. There could be many variations of what you're looking for. So, it's hard to answer this question without, going through specific goals here. All right. So when I say specific goals, are we talking more along the lines of muscle hypertrophy, muscle growth? Are we talking more along the lines of, let's say, power or joint stability incorporated with strength, or maybe just strength? There's all these types of things we want to look at, and this will kind of dictate where we go with different movements. Finding myself stressed out. So I hope that kind of answers your question. I hope it answers your question. Let me know. Finding myself stressed out about being late for classes or not meeting target heart intensity. This causes me to lose sleep. How do I relax myself so I can sleep better? Just do your best and accept your best as your best. That's all you can do. If you're not doing your best and you can do better, okay? That's what I'm gonna really encourage you to do. Also, I'm gonna ask you to do your exercise earlier in the day if possible. Okay, if possible, do your exercise earlier in the day. Chances are you will perform it better. Go to sleep early. So if you plan to be sleeping by 9, try to get to bed by 7:30. Get off the internet, get off your TV, pull out a book, make sure the lights are dimmed, maybe have a small light on, that type of thing. Make sure your room is cool, make sure it's quiet. Do all of the what's the word I'm looking for here? I should never do these videos at night or in the evening. All the stuff around sleep that's going to help with you to get more relaxed, and sleep hygiene is the word I'm looking for. All the stuff that's going to support you to getting a better sleep, to helping you to relax. All right. No blue light, cool room. Settle down, get off electronics, that type of thing. Okay? All right, let's get to the message of the day. On this day 66, basically 4 days left to go. Your mind is like a garden. You need to nurture it with positivity. I am one of those people that needs this message because I suffer from this immensely, believe it or not. I don't know why sometimes we have a lot of negative thoughts. I'm not sure what that is. But we need to combat it with positive thoughts. We need to be aware of it and then, fight it with positive thoughts. Even if you're not convinced of these positive thoughts, just telling yourself, repeating positive thoughts will help to combat at least that one train of voice in your mind, right? You offset it with a different voice in your mind, and it will have some bearing. All right? Even just reading off certain things to yourself in the morning, I think will make a big difference. All right? So your mind is like a garden. You need to nurture it with positivity. Positivity, lots of positive things. And this includes things like taking a break in the day, going out for walks, getting some sunlight, moving, just getting up and moving, surrounding yourself with people who are positive, keeping alcohol out of your regime, keeping good, nutritious, real whole foods in your diet, exercising regularly, etc. Okay? Your mind is like a garden. You need to nurture it with positivity, both internally and externally. All right? Positive energy, positive vibes. Believe in yourself for the love of God. Give some gratitude, and I'll talk to you all tomorrow.